Are you sick of your teammates dying? Do you wish that they could just use their brain and just freaking move? Xander!
How is that hitting me?
Brother, just move, nigga.
I will. I'm fine.
Do you want to play support without having the burden that you're a warlock and using speaker side? Because how freaking dare you play a warlock without using speaker sides and well rated? You actual. This could be neat for you. Yeah, let's go with that.
Baby, wake up. Salvation just posted.
Alright, on the surface, this looks like a Salvation. What the hell is this build? What are we doing here? Why not just run this? Nigga, this is a video game. Let me have fun, alright? So, the premise is we are essentially doing two things at once. We are being part healer with our support gun. It ain't no hesitation, I'll tell you that. It can be if you want to. And we are also being part Sentry. We are not going to be using Stacy to just fling her around like she belongs to the streets. We are going to be utilizing her as a pseudo Sentry. The gameplay loop is very, very simple. It can be a little hectic if, let's say, a lot's going on in your one shot, but for the most part, if you're playing your cards right, you're playing positioning the correct way, it's really not that bad. What you're going to want to do is just throw your Stacy out relatively close so you can be able to take advantage of the little storm that you're going to be under. Shoot the ads with the icicle storm, right? And profit. Literally just profit. It's free. And what I like to do personally is use icebreaker. Of course, you don't have to if you don't have it. It's also pretty basic. To shoot the frozen targets, get the free ignition damage, profit. You're literally just profiting, and because you're going to be using so much of icebreaker and say maybe your heavy of choice, you're going to be able to build up your light meter that way, because Stacy and hell, even the support frame are it's so much darkness stuff. You're not even going to need to worry about the transcendence meter for the darkness. And yeah, you could just profit shooting Stacy on the other side of the map, getting crowd control that way, but in a more team-oriented setting where the team is just discombobulated, like people are, you know, doing their first GM in like, so say years or whatever. You just want to like really give them that oomph without fully carrying them. I mean, I think this is a pretty neat way to play the game. To go slightly further in depth on what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using the adamantite. You're going to really want one perk on this gun, in my humble opinion, and that's reciprocity. When healing projectiles from this weapon strike allies, you also receive an increased amount of healing. Of course, that's we're solely utilizing this for self-healing in case, let's say, oh, I don't know, we don't have our class ability, we're not running the one fragment that gives you restoration off of orb pickup. You know, there could be a bundle of reasons, right? We're using icebreaker purely to shatter stasis crystals and maybe some chip damage. You don't have to use it. You are more than welcome to use whatever you want. This is just like what I'm going to be using. Any heavy of choice, save like whatever surge. You know, there's no limits with the heavy. Just you can use an LMG if you want to. I don't care, right? This is about what you think you should bring to the table to help further to support the team. For the helmet, well, honestly, this is where things get a little interesting. This is things get more centered around how you feel like you should play as a support. As you can see, like there's genuinely nothing really impactful. I mean, aside from whatever resists on the chest piece, but this is basically just like a more setup on how you think you should play, and just in whatever given situation. It's really not that serious. Of course, for stats, you're gonna want to try and go for 100 rezeal, and me personally, I go for max discipline just off the fact that I want to be able to spam my Stacies. For our prismatic warlock setup, this could be a little funky. Just stay with me now, alright? We're using Phoenix Dive purely for the fact that it is the shortest cooldown. We're using Arcane Needle, so whenever we throw our needles out, we will unravel. We're also utilizing healing grenades because if things get sticky on Tyler and we can't really use our Phoenix Dive, or say they're just a little too out of range, or you may even want to sacrifice the chance to use a Stacy, okay, cool, just throw a healing grenade. It also has the shortest cooldown at 1.5 minutes. For our aspects, we're using Feed the Void for defeating a target with any ability to activate Devour. Devour on Warlock so gnarly, right? Everyone knows this. You can look at the aspect setup and be like, okay, this is boring. Just stay with me now, okay? I'm trying to spice things up with the fragments just a little bit. And of course, we're going to need Bleak Watcher, our precious little Stacy, so she can do her thing out in the streets. Fragments. The fragments is when things get funky, gentlemen. We are going to be starting with Facet of Solitude. Landing rapid precision hits emits a severing blast from the target. This way, in my humble opinion, Facet of Solitude, you know, is 40% less damage the targets are doing to us. We can survive some gnarly hits. For teammates, this will be very, very nice. We're using Facet of Balance. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Rapidly defeating targets with darkness damage grants grenade energy. You see what I'm saying? Picking up the Gindar Devourer as well as Facet of Balance, we're just gonna get our nades even faster, especially if we're transcending, you know. Then that way, because with our transcendence, our grenades have a slowing effect, so that way they slow down too. We can use our ice maker that way. There's levels to this. Facet of Protection, pretty self-explanatory. You get damage resistance when you're surrounded. I mean, if you're getting straight up swarmed at a GM, and well, I mean, it's not really much you can do there. But say if it's like maybe like a knight, you know, you don't get completely shat on, you know, stuff like that. Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, i.e. Devour, your class ability regenerates more quickly. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I don't know if this really even does anything. I don't typically notice like a difference. It also could just be because I'm in the heat of a moment and I'm more worried about healing my friends instead of me. Like I'm sacrificing my life for Pakistan, you know what I'm saying? But in the sense that it does work, it is very nice. Especially say like if they're right next to me, why not just save a couple heal bullets here and there? And lastly, the big boy, Facet of Ruin, increases the size and damage of a burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target, and increases the area effect of solar ignitions. This is the bread and butter of holding your own ad control. You are the Sentry support, brother. Bro, you just stand under the icicle. You are literally just, dude, you explosions, blue, yellow explosions everywhere. It's beautiful. Look at the bright, pretty colors. Look at the bright, pretty colors, my boy. You're beautiful. I'm sorry, I lost my composure for a second. I don't know what happened. But the moral of the story for this build, you are to take this build and use it as a template. This is not to be a set in stones build. This is supposed to be a adjustable to your playstyle support Sentry style type of joint. I know you played Gambit Prime back in the day. Think of it as like that. And to further emphasize, like, this is a do what you will, do what you must build. This is for the longevity, as long as, say, nothing here gets really changed in a negative nerfed way. I didn't even use, aside from champion mods, I didn't use anything. Why? To prove the point that you can take this, say, like 5 years from now, assuming the servers ain't shut down for good. But the point is, you are supposed to take this as a template and just use this how you will. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hearing me yap. This was real. Don't mind my stuttering. I'm a little nervous. Y'all make me so nervous. You just get me so heated. And yeah, have a great evening.